You know what I've come here for. Millie Bobby and the Russos this time. I said, oh man, what a joint effort. Or at it again. I'm not even going to say the movie makes me sick. They've done to that book. So, I'll just say the positives. I'm a big Chris Pratt fan. Chris Pratt. Oh my God, Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt made me laugh a lot in this movie. And I feel like a lot of these laughs he didn't really earn. I feel like a lot of it was just me kind of going, at least somebody I like on screens here. That's it. That's all I liked. You know what? The little robot companion, he was cute. That's it. That's it. Let's just deep dive this movie. Full spoilers. If there's even any to include. I don't even know if I'm even going to spoil it now that I think about it. I just don't like a lot of it. So for starters, to me, I don't like AI, but if you want to use it in your movie for, like, kind of like The Brutalist is getting hate because they did, like, something, well, I don't even remember, but, like, they didn't, like, make any of the sets, as long as they don't make, like, any of the sets with AI, or have, like, a character with AI, I don't care, because there's still people working on that stuff, and it's just a tool. Like, it's so different than, like, using, like, Adobe, or, like, you know, Photoshop, or iMovie, or something like that, or, like, the edit, whatever. So I don't really care. People are getting pressed over that, okay? In this movie, I do care, because they're like, oh, yeah, we used to, like, generate, like, a lot of these voices and stuff. It's like, what? But that's not even why I'm mad. I don't even, like I said, at the end of the day, pisses me off, whatever. There's other things to complain about except for this, okay? That just kind of made it worse. So, the Russo brothers, I've decided, just kind of struck gold with Marvel. And the few movies that they filmed for them, I don't know if, like, I guess Feige would have been heavily in it. Like, I don't know. Because any movie that they've touched has been utter dog crap. Let me repeat it for the ones in back. Utter dog crap. Millie Bobby Brown has been shown time and time again that she's an actor who doesn't like movies. And coming from somebody that, you know, I almost want to say you don't have to like movies, but, like, I kind of feel like you do. Like, that's like being like a booktuber and being like, I don't like reading. What? And this is all speculation, so I'm not going to stay on this topic too long. But I feel like a lot of her earlier days of acting was like, oh my God, I'm loving this. I'm in this. I'm having a fun time. And now it just feels forced. Her whole performance was like the epiphany of, like, I just want a paycheck. You know, like, Harrison Ford always says in all of his movies, I just did it for a paycheck. You know how he says this and that. But, like, when you watch him act, you go, oh, okay, he's pretty good. Because at the end of the day, he's professional. He's like, okay, even though I did this for a paycheck, I'm still not going to give it my all. You know, he's not going to go out there and just phone it in, right? Millie Bobby just feels like, she feels like a rock. Just in the way. Like me, right? Like a big-bodied person just in like the way of traffic. Like, won't move. Maybe they fail or something. And she's just, like, so much in the way of this movie. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine, right? Because he didn't like this movie either. He actually messaged me right before I finished. I think I had 30 minutes left. Also, the movie's way too long. When I thought it was at the end, it was like 46 minutes left. I said, Jesus. For what? We ain't got there yet. So, a friend of mine messaged me. He's talking about how he didn't like this. And this is also not like a movie reviewer. He, you know, watches a movie every now and then. He's not going to the theater like me every week. This is like literally the epiphany of like the closest thing I have to like normie. And he was like, ugh. And the main thing that me and him were talking about was Millie Bobby's performance. Simply because, for example, her brother in this movie, like the main plot is that her family dies and he's like, oh, possessed like this robot. And he's actually being held at this facility by this rich dude who's kind of like basically in charge of their future and this and that because he's super smart or something in his brain. Very weird plot, but I said, okay, right. Millie Bobby, there's a scene, and it's a scene that is where I solidified. I said, this movie's not good. It's not good. Where they're like laying on the couch, it's like Christmas time, And I almost forgot that was her brother. I was like, are they dating? Because she has no range here. I'm not saying in general. Just particularly in this movie and in this scene, I feel like rewatching that, if I was like the Russos, I'd be like, okay, we need to film this take again. Because she's not portraying like a brother. And I get it. It's not fully her fault. This is written like this. So a lot of these lines, I was like, ooh, but that's how they wrote it. I just think as somebody who has a sister, like, if you guys are like, let's say like, oh man, like, you know, like y'all like, you know, laying close together and like watching TV, this and that, y'all might tease, poke fun, this and that. She was just straight up like, it was flirtatious. She was like, I remember what she said. She's like, yeah, you're going to college, aren't you? Oh, I forgot. She doesn't have a fucking UK accent. It's just American. So she's like, yeah, you're going to college. And it's like her eyes and shit. And I was like, did they tell her this was your brother? And it was just weird. And I was like, maybe it's just me. It's like, it probably is, right? It probably is. But I'm not even mainly mad at the scene. It's just that I'm just using it as an example just for her conveying stuff. Like, I feel like she was conveying the wrong emotions. She could have like said the same dialogue and could have like conveyed a different type of emotion. Like maybe she could have, like, I don't know, because like she was clearly supposed to be kind of like uplifting and hopeful and be like, oh no, you're going to college, you know, mom and dad's gonna be mad, this and that. But it was like how she said it, like instead of being like, mom and dad's gonna be mad, she was like, mom and dad's gonna be mad, you better go back to college. And I was like, the fuck? Intro to a porno? Weird. And then the action scenes in this movie are just something else. There's product placement at the wazoo. Like, one of the main characters who's actually a focal point and has like a whole fight scene to himself is the Mr. Peanut from Planters. And I was like, 320 mil! $320 million fucking dollars. I could use that money. You're gonna throw it away to this garbage. And once again, it's not the worst movie I've seen. I should reiterate this. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's not like a piece of shit. It's just Millie, I don't know why they keep trying to make her a thing. She's good in Stranger Things. At least, well, I'm hoping she is in the final season. She's good for these seasons that we've got, and she's great. Amazing. I thought she was going places. Then she did Enola Holmes, which is fine. She was okay up in that. But then in Godzilla, I was like, ooh. And then in this, I'm like, ooh. I'm like, damn, girl. And I just feel like it's like a check thing. Like, it's like, oh, shit, he gonna pay me? Yeah. Like, there's no love. You can tell there's no care in this movie. The main fucking point of this movie, like the actual theme of this movie by the end of it, is about corporate greed and, you know, being one with yourself, and, you know, it's a lot of shit actually. And like, for example, like one thing I really liked is like, you know, especially towards the end of the movie, they're like, you know, basically making the point that, you know, you need to go outside, you need to talk to people face to face and not be all involved in technology and this and that, and how all these companies are evil, this and that. But yet the fucking big corporation Netflix gave them $320 million to literally stow away. And it's just mixed signals. It's mixed signals. It's mixed messages. I just don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I was in Barnes & Noble a few weeks ago, and I actually picked up the book that this is based on, and, you know, I was looking through some of these pages, and I actually got excited, too, before I watched this movie, because I was like, man, I was like, dude, this shit's awesome. The art is so fucking good. If you guys haven't checked out the book, check it out. Like I said, go to your local Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, whatever, and, like, find a book, just flip through. Like, you don't have to buy it. Just, like, go through this art. It's awesome. It's haunting. It's like, has, like, this vibe of the future, but it could be our future. Like, it's so beautiful. And in this movie, it's just like CGI. Like, yeah, it's CGI, but like, it has no filters. They have like no cinematography that's worth a damn. They don't give a shit. Like, you can tell. Like, it's just like that yellow kind of piss stain Netflix filter. It looks like any blockbuster movie. There's no love and care. Like, when this got announced, I was excited before the Russos even got attached to it, because I was just like, man, this is going to be like a nice like little indie film, and it's just going to be so beautiful. And instead, they're just like, throw Chris Pratt in there. And I love Chris Pratt. Like I said, he was funny in this movie, but like, he didn't need to be in this movie. Millie Bobby is miscast. oh God, my eyes itching, I'm stressing out. Oh man, I fucking hate this shit. I hate that we live in a time where streaming is king. And I get it, everybody's lazy. Nobody wants to, and I'm gonna talk, I'm a big boy, okay? But I don't mean lazy like that. I just mean like, for example, like Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out this week. I know it's off topic, it's a game, but like I'm pre-ordered my physical copy because if I'm paying the same fucking price digital, why not get the disc and actually physically own it? Instead, I know people that are like, yeah, I'll just get it digitally, and it's like, I guess it's quicker and yeah, it's instant, but like if they take it off store shelves, I got my physical, pop up in there. And like physical media is dying and it's sad, and I feel like the theaters are next. I don't think it's anytime soon, but after seeing this box office weekend like when Novocaine and stuff like that, and then you've got Netflix of all places going $320 million that you could have gave to anybody. The last 10 years worth of Oscar winning movies, like what one movie of the year, you could have gave them their budgets under 320 mil. The last 10, that means Green Book, Anora, like all these movies, Oppenheimer. That's fucking crazy because they spent so much fucking money on this movie for it to just be the most generic piece of garbage that nobody's gonna remember. It's like number one on net. I'm like, what the fuck? And I just finally came to a realization that it's just me. It's just me. I'm actually kind of sad. Like I'm kind of, I've been kind of in this emotional state. Not even about this movie. The movie ain't stressed me out like that. It's just, I'm just thinking about like, for example, like how Greta Gerwig is having to fight with Netflix and this and that to like get Narnia in theaters, and even then they're like, oh yeah, only in IMAX for like 1 month. Like what the fuck? Narnia. And like we're putting everything on streaming, like everything's coming out all at once. They're doing this and that. Like what happened to like a season every year? I get it, don't do 16, 20 episodes of that, but like a season every year. Now we're having to wait like 3 years for like Severance. It's ending this Thursday. I'm so excited. It'll be 2 years before we get another season. TV shows, I don't care how good they're getting, that sucks. Movies, right? They're getting better. I feel like, you got old heads out there that's like, oh, movies are better. But every now and then you get I always forget the name of it. It's the movie with John David Washington, directed by the guy who's directing the new Jurassic World. But like you get a movie like that comes out, it's just changes your worldview. Blade Runner 2049, a Top Gun Maverick, kind of like Companion this year. You get smaller pieces like that just kind of fit the puzzle. Like, yeah, I know a lot of people didn't like Longlegs, but like that's still original-ish, and it's really good, and I feel like it elevates genres. And you get those movies, and I just sit here and think, what if that would have came to Netflix? And people talked about it for like a week, and then it just went off the radar. You can't buy physicals anymore of anything. And I mainly was stressing out about this the other day because I was thinking about Invincible, and I was like, man, I love that show. Fucking love to own it. Can't. It's on Amazon. Let's say 30 years from now, they go, oh, actually, let's take it off of there. And, it's kind of what Warner Brothers did with Looney Tunes. Everybody's talking about Looney Tunes. By the way, 10 out of 10 movie. Not reviewing that, but 10 out of 10. I ran out of time to review it, but it's a 10 out of 10. It's a good movie. And the whole time I'm just sitting there thinking, they just took off all the Looney Tunes stuff on Max. And you can own it by buying it and, like, sneaking this and that. But, like, that's just crazy. You own stuff and you're taking off the platform. Hulu's done this already. There was that movie, The Princess, whatever it was called. I didn't even watch. I was going to. It's on now. Look for Alaska. I love that show. It's gone. Where's my physical copy? And this movie just kind of solidified. It just hit the nail in the coffin. It was like, people are eating this up. People like it. And you're going to be one of the only few people left behind. I'm going to be left behind. Because I'm going to be one of these people going, hey, I like to own this. I like to do this and that. And they're going to be throwing out $500 million for like a movie with The Rock or some shit. And everybody's going to eat it up and love it. And say it's one of their favorite movies of the year. When it's literally just the most phoned in, shitty, nonsensical movies. Is it the worst movie of all time? No. I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10. It's just mid. It's just okay. There's nothing really remotely wrong with it. It's just, we're spending this much money on movies not even putting in theaters. It's insane. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, enough of that rant. I'm tired. Nothing's gonna change. Our future kind of sucks, if we're being honest, as far as media stuff goes. But it's just like, I'm just thinking about like books too. Like, at least physical books are having resurgence. Thank God. I love reading books, if you can tell, but without looking at all the movies that those movies I have to watch. But I love physical books and stuff, that because, like I said, why spend $25 for a book on Kindle when you can spend $25 to get the hardcover? Like, I just think like that. Like, I just rather own it physically in my hand, something I could actually physically have tangible. Now, I still use my Kindle for stuff that's cheaper. Stuff that it's like a series of 25 books. I'm not putting all those on my shelf. I just get them on there. But I don't know, man. If you have any comments about this remotely, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and with that, like, subscribe for more, and I will catch you guys on the next one.
I'll go with you.
Someday you will.
I love my popcorn. Movies, popcorn.